Welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia. I'm Nye, this is Base, and this is episode 3. We're off to Shrine Isle, and Vice is really bored, that's why he's tapping his feet at us.
I think you can deal with it, frickin' Vice.
I can't get onto this ladder. It just doesn't want to happen. So as you go, you can talk to Vice's mom, and if you do, she will give you some items.
As she should.
Sakurai's Crystals is the level 2 green healing spell. I can't remember if Sakurai's is...
I always call it Sacres.
Could be. You can always call
Probably
it
pronounced
Sucrose,
Sacris.
but yeah. If I remember correctly, that's 1,000 HP to any given ally.
Yep.
And if you talk to Dine, he will give you your third moonstone, your purple moonstone. And he actually tells you what it actually does, so you can use it on your weapon. Give it the power of ice. This is one of the only times Dine does not yell at you for calling him dad.
Probably because he knows he's a big jerk for doing it all the time.
I also like this is one of the few games that it actually refers to things like equip command or Y button, and doesn't either try to make a joke out of it or try to make it like uncomfortable for the game, or try to put it into game terms.
Oh yeah, like when Navi or whoever is reading that sign Tattle, it's in Majora's Mask, and Tattle's reading something to you, and it's like, use the Z button. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah. It doesn't do that, and also doesn't try to put it into game terms, go into your inventory and put it on you, and then move the... It actually just says, equip screen, press Y.
What we're trying to say is that the game isn't stuck up its own ass.
More or less, yeah. That's pretty much where I'm going with that, yeah. So, now that we actually have some money, so we picked up that 150 gold back there out of Dine's office. You know, we're pirates, we stole the money from other pirates. We're gonna go get a little bit more equipment.
Yeah, don't spend it all in one place. Jesus.
That's a lot of gold.
150 gold.
Yeah, we're just gonna speed this up a little bit.
They should have been given an arbitrary currency name. Should have been like Sky Pirate Fun Bucks or something like that.
This music sounds so funny when sped up 2 times.
Can't tell me you wouldn't have approved of Sky Pirate Fun Bucks.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, I'm gonna slow this down for a second. Just because you actually get to select the element it is when you start up. You can see, actually is some of the stats in there. I'll go into that more when we actually have enough money to care. And you actually can sell the fish. They actually do give a decent amount of money.
Keep, I forget what kind of fish it is. Oh, wait.
It's not something we're getting anytime soon.
Yeah, never mind. I forgot that there's actually a way you get 99 of the fish you need. We're talking about something that happens in the future, a minor side quest area.
Well, that's pretty not minor.
The 99 fish thing, you get, well,
You gotta do that anyways.
That's actually one of the things you don't need 100% on. You do not need the killer.
You do need 100% on that because it's a discovery.
Is it a discovery?
It's a discovery.
Must have forgotten.
Okay, so we got another chest up here. More magic droplets.
Well, don't I just look like the asshole now?
You do. You
Thanks.
very much do.
Thanks for that.
Yep. Hey, it's your fault. You decided to open your mouth.
I got something for your open mouth. Smash. Smash, smash.
You actually get to leave. One thing that does amuse me is that every character, if they're standing, they have this small standing, breathing, and moving slightly animation. And sometimes it looks really weird that they're doing it. So if you look at the very bottom of our screen, you can see sort of swirling clouds down there. I only aimed down there so you guys can see it ahead of time, because this game hints at a lot of stuff a lot earlier than it actually gets done. And now that we actually have weapons worth a damn, we can actually damage these things. Not really much, admittedly, but...
And now that you're using the correct element.
Oh no, I was using fire element the first time we fought the maracas.
I thought you said maracas were
I mean, they are green element. Actually, let me slow this down so I can show you guys. Let's get the actual battle command up here. Something. Okay. If you guys look... No, I'm moving too fast, so I might have to show this in a future episode. But if you guys look in the upper right-hand corner, when you're actually seeing the images, the select images of the enemies, there'll be a small colored box around it that'll show you the actual element they belong to. All of these enemies are green enemies. Yeah, I'm skipping through menus too fast. But all these are green enemies, so they're actually weak to red, if I remember correctly.
That wasn't so bad.
Ooh, better look next time, fella.
Yep. Actually, that's not so bad. There's a Maroka shell that's actually an accessory that dropped off them.
I always call those maracas. You know, like the instrument.
Mm-hmm. So this one actually gives us better defense, but I kind of prefer the hit from Vice's Sky Goggles. And Eika's Flash Ribbon gives her better quick, which means she moves faster. I never found the maracas, whatever you want to call them. I never found them to be, or those accessories to be good.
Maraca shells? Yeah, they're good for, I guess, as long as they're the only thing you've got.
I prefer the base equipment to them, I really do. There's better equipment that come out later on.
There's some,
So you can actually see it, or you actually could have seen it just now, the green square around these guys. But as I believe I said before, you'll see me do it later on. I will actually switch elements just to show you guys. But the damage boost from getting the correct element is not enough to matter about half the time.
But the damage immunity is enough.
Yeah, there are some enemies that are immune to certain elements.
And some that will even be healed if you attack them with the wrong element.
Yep. So we just learned Pyrai. That's the level 1 red spell. And just a base damage spell. Just hurt things. But I'm in the red element for the majority of this episode for a very specific reason, a very specific spell. Look at the size of that hole.
Sorry.
So this island was a sacred place, and nobody's been here for generations. But Vice and Eika just come out of here for no reason.
What I thought was funny is in this area, and of course I mentioned this because it's like all RPGs, is they always talk about how there's this like area no one's ever been to or whatever, but the puzzles are all like perfectly working around the damage that exists.
This is especially true for something you're going to see in just a second here after I save, because, you know, I save all the time. Look, we've been playing this for 21 hours and 44 minutes.
Really? 21 hours?
Apparently.
That's weird. Why? What save
know.
file did you overwrite?
Oh, I didn't. I just have a bad habit of leaving my systems on.
Oh, did you leave your game on for... Yeah.
So this door just opens. I don't have to pry it open or anything. It just opens automatically for me. And closes behind me.
Well, specifically how, like, the puzzle in this one works for a flooded area. It's like, okay.
There's the moonstone. It's shining and all that jazz.
But maybe it's just me worried about that sort of thing, because everyone else was too busy not caring about the physical dimensions and workings of fictional places.
My question is, where does all this water come from? I know there's like this lake up there, but this is a lot of water.
I liked how the game does that actually in a few places. There's sand fountains and water fountains, like floating springs. This is pretty cool. I guess they kind of describe it that water will come naturally from any water moonstone or any blue moonstone of sufficient size.
Yes, we're nowhere near the land of the blue moon right now.
Well, that doesn't mean that that's not the moonstone that's there. In fact, I think this is a blue moonstone that fell, isn't it?
I don't think it ever references it, actually. It just calls it the raw moonstone.
Oh yeah, that's right, it's a raw moonstone.
Yeah, it's not refined, so it doesn't matter. Is this where we meet one of the most annoying enemies in the game? I think this is.
The ones that sleep you?
See that blue thing right there?
Oh, yeah. No, the ones that sleep you. Yeah.
These enemies, and this is why I'm targeting them first, actually, they have they're one of a couple of enemies that have on-hit effects if they happen to land a hit on you. And those things have, and you'll see it later on, it's really annoying, an on-hit sleep effect. Sleep causes you to not be able to move. You still gain spirit, but you can't actually move. You will naturally wake up after a while, or you'll wake up after being hit. The problem is...
It's the worst. It's the worst because this game does not, like, care if you're already afflicted with something. They can conceivably sleep you permanently until you lose.
Yeah. I was actually worried it was going to happen later on in this LP.
Yeah, it's the worst.
But yeah, they'll just keep on landing sleeps on you, and you can conceivably lose from it. It's not that hard.
Which is why certain weapons and certain... I can't remember any armors that make you particularly immune to things, but that's what I meant to say. All accessories. Keep all accessories.
Yeah, accessories will give you immunities.
Even if it's a crappy little low-level immunity, if it makes you immune to sleep, it's worth its weight.
That was easy.
There's things that make you immune to all kinds of things. Confusion, sleep,
Insta-death.
Yeah, oh, those are the... Whew. We won't get into that until we're at that point in the game, but boy, does insta-death become an awful thing in this game. It's worse in this RPG than I think in most RPGs I've ever played.
Because they actually treat it as its own thing.
They do, and it's annoying because most of the time it's like, if it's an insta-death thing, and this game treats it such, it's like, doesn't have a 100% chance of landing, but... So
and
it's
it
like...
does.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden it's like everything's casting it on you, and there are certain enemies you fight that have it in a group flavor.
Yep. This is actually one of the few RPGs that I really like that actually did this well, and that's every equipped weapon, period, has a unique look to it, even the low-level ones. If you compare... And Vice just got slept. If you compare Vice's sword now to the one he had in the last episode, you'll notice it is a very different sword. Look, he gets hit, he wakes up, and goes right back to sleep.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Especially when they don't hit you for a while, and you don't have, like, for example, this early in the game, you don't have a way of waking your characters up directly. Boy, is it the worst.
Luckily, almost nothing carries over between battles. I do not believe there's a single status effect that will carry over from one battle to the next. So you only have to worry about it for that one battle.
I don't even think poison does.
No, poison doesn't, sleep doesn't, paralysis doesn't, confusion doesn't. Hell, not even death carries over from battle to battle.
Oh, that's right. This is one of the RPGs where your character has one hit point following. You don't need to do some elaborate ritual of taking them back to the town priest or whatever, to the king or whatever.
Now, there is, like, in battle, you do. But... So we're just going to touch this strange floating crystal thing, and it's going to activate this dungeon.
Do you know, I don't know if you ever pointed out in the LP, of course, since it's pre-recorded and we're talking over it, but did you ever... do you know if there's a reason to light up all the,
Actually, no. I do it every time I play the game. You guys will actually watch me go out of my way to do it.
To light them, to light every brazier. And there's probably no reason to. It's maddening. It's maddening. I can't not light them.
Okay, guys, watch this. You'll see what we're going to talk about in just a second. First, the place is activated now. And every time you pass one of these hoops, that we're going to pass in just a second, right here. I was actually going to talk about this anyways. It lifts up and lights up. It happens for every single one except one, which is impossible to light. Every time I play this game, I light them all, just in case it does something, but I have never seen it actually do something, and I don't think it has any effect.
Maddening. You can't not do it. Once you realize, everybody, once you realize that thing, like, once you realize they light up as you walk over them, you think it's a thing.
But it isn't. Okay, and also now that we've activated the ruins, we've activated this new enemy type, the one that's about to smack Aka. Not that one, not the flesh stick, but the other one, the one behind her. That's actually a silver enemy type, so it has no elemental weakness. they also have a crap ton of HP, and they hit kind of hard. Hi, Aka. You never get to move again for the rest of the fight.
Oh, and this game does not care about throwing shit odds at you too. I wonder if you get any in this LP where you end up fighting 8 sleep snakes like in a single group.
No, I got lucky.
No, you'll end up fighting.
There's an enemy type which we'll see in probably 5 or 6 episodes from now when we go to the lands of the Green Moon. We're not actually there right now, to be honest. When we go to the lands of the Green Moon, there's an enemy type who we will face who has an instant-death spell that has a 50% chance of activating and casts on the entire group. You can face 8 of these things at once. I believe 8's the max amount of enemies you can have on screen at once. You'll face 8 of them at once, and all of them will cast them one after the other, and just wreck you. The game just does not care.
No, it does not.
It gets really bad, too, because some of these enemies have the ability to call more enemies. So even after you kill one, another one will take its place.
Not to give weird impression, mind you, enemies in this game isn't necessarily difficult. It's just not afraid to...
It's not afraid to screw with you. It really isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we won't have a single game over this entire LP, but I wouldn't put it past the game to give me one.
Oh, the worst is that, the boss that can, petrify your entire group, because petrify qualifies as death for game over purposes.
He's actually one of the people who will be joining us on this LP, Trance. That's the boss that he had a glitch in his game, so it's not that he couldn't beat it because he couldn't beat it, but he had a glitch on his game, and so he was never able to defeat that boss. But yeah, that boss can easily wreck you just by petrifying your entire team, and it has a breath attack, Petrify, which means your entire team can be caught in it in one go. But
what was that?
By that time, we will have the tools to beat him, so it's not going to matter.
Unless he on the Dreamcast version, I know he petrified my entire group at once. I don't think it ever happened on GameCube, and I wonder if they gave it a limit, but...
It's possible. I know it's been a while since I lost to him.
Yeah, he's not an explicitly difficult boss to kill.
So you guys saw these ruins drop, and so now we are outside of the ruins, and that was a really well done lens flare. I've always appreciated that. This is our first super huge enemy, the Gruder.
Here goes!
And it's not that it has any better attack than anybody else, but the big enemy types are generally kind of scary. Because they will generally have abilities others don't, or something like that. In this case, the Gruder is our first real damage magic type. It's the first one that actually casts damaging magic on us.
Take this.
Well, we take care of it just fine. The next one will be the one that actually casts. Until then, the maracas will just keep on smacking us.
Here goes!
There's one unfortunate thing about this game. The magic, apart from the status restoring magic, I never found a good use for any of the other magic. It's one of the many, many RPGs I've seen that does not make magic any better than physical attacks. It actually limits it.
That is true, yes.
I mean, so many Golden Sun did it. We saw it a lot, actually, that I did not cast any magic because there was no point. It just didn't do as much damage as I could physically do by doing a physical attack. And it has a limit from MP, so I didn't want to do it. I wanted to save that MP for heals. Skies does that a lot, too. There are very few magic spells that I feel good about casting that's not actual heal magic.
Moons, give me strength!
I'm talking about good stuff about Skies to make up for that bad stuff about Skies. The battle sequences, actually, the surroundings of the battle sequences are really good because they always take into account exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pay attention, every battle sequence we have outside of the ruins will always have these surroundings. Now they usually magnify some of this stuff, like the platforms we're on in the battle is a lot bigger than the platform we just walked off. And it's kind of a constant thing.
Here goes!
Is that Gruder cast his water spell yet? That had a really weird sound effect to it.
My chair's squeaky. You may have noticed that.
No, not that. The Gruder spell attack. Or like range attack thing it did.
Right.
So this is something I shouldn't actually be doing, but I am doing a lot of healing of myself through magic. MP is a very limited resource, especially when you're in dungeons, so I really shouldn't be healing myself with magic this much, but we're also very limited on our item heals, so I guess I can kind of get free for that. There was its water spell. So it got that on Vice. I think that was an area of effect spell, so it could have gotten it on Eiko too.
Moons, give me strength.
Yay for heals. Vice's casting animation always looks hilarious to me. He, like, lifts himself off his feet onto the balls of his feet and is bending slightly backwards. It's like being like lifted by the power.
Mm-hmm.
Here goes!
I'll be speeding this up, huh? I'm kind of worried about speeding this up because the camera already is jerky even at normal speeds. By the way, I didn't comment on it earlier because I kind of forgot that it happened, but we actually made it to the second tier of the first upgrade of our spirit bar here. We're actually gaining 3 spirit per turn right now.
The spirit, probably Aika, I would presume. She's kind of like the... Aika's interesting because you can have her do whatever. Like, all the characters have a very defined class role, but Aika can be either. You can make her your mage, or you can make her a agility fighter. She's never really as good a fighter as Vice is, but she's got a lot of dodge. There is a character that is a better fighter, in fact, but we will meet him another time.
And actually, when I was talking about spirit meters earlier, the spirit meter isn't like 1 spirit per person or something like that. It doesn't actually get added like that. Each person has their own dedicated spirit amount that levels up with them every couple of levels. And so right now, Eika gets 2 spirit per turn, and Vice gets 1. This isn't important right now, because right now we're not doing anything where we could lose any. But for instance, if Eika was knocked out, we'd only be getting 1 spirit per turn because only Vice would be available. And also notice that because Eika's spirit per turn went up, so did our max spirit, which is kind of important. I think better of using Color's Fury. Because that Gruder is almost dead anyways.
Give me strength!
just gotta remember to speed this up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Try to decide if I want to keep it at 1.5 normal speed or just 2 times.
2 times. Get this over with. Everyone's seen these fights.
I'm sure I can pull that off.
The fights aren't...
It's the
They're
boss
fun.
fights that are interesting.
Yeah, and the ship battles.
And the ship battles are interesting. Yeah. But I also don't want to skip battles in case there's something actually interesting going on in the battle. Like, for instance, the enemy that uses non-stop death spells, stuff like that. We're getting a good amount of experience. And in about 3 battles worth, Vice gained that 1 red spell that we really, really want. I also like the disconnect between the actual, like, dungeon crawl environment and the battle environment. In the dungeon crawl environment, those walkways are transparent, and the places we fight are kind of small. In the fight environment, though, those walkways are opaque, and these little fight arenas are kind of big. It's kind of an odd, weird thing going on.
Phew. 4,400 in small business class.
Lots of damage.
We did it!
Loads of money.
So we got some gold, that, and we got a moonberry. And this is actually where I decided to use the moonberries. So we get some super moves. Vice's second super move is Counter Strike. Whenever he uses this, any basic attack that attacks him will automatically be countered.
That is it is deceptive because it is handy, but it does not counter magic.
Yeah, and by the time you actually want Counter-Strike, most enemies are using magic anyways. We don't get Vice's third attack, even though I could have, because it actually requires more spirit points than we can possibly get right now. It requires 14, we don't have a maximum of 10. We get Aka's first...
Are you referring to Rain of Swords? Was that it?
Yeah, Rain of Swords requires 14. So instead, we get 2 of Aka's. We're actually going to see one of Aka's one of the 2 in this episode. That is all of her moves have the name of one of the Greek letters in them. It's kind of funny. I don't know why they did that. Why they decided that she needed that, but
yeah.
There's no real reason. None of the the other characters, they kind of have this, especially Thena, has this kind of...
They all have themes. I don't want to get into all the characters for spoiler purposes, but they all have themes. Like, one is justice, sort of, and one is...
One's justice, one's piratey, Vice is very piratey.
One is sort of...
This is a lot of water.
I guess the first character you're going to encounter after, I'll say the fourth character you're going to encounter, he doesn't really have a theme, but he only has 3 super moves, so...
That was a lot of water. And here I kinda got lost. I did this twice. I do this every time I do this dungeon. Every time.
Yeah, and see, this is exactly what we're talking about. You went out of your way to get those braziers lit, because...
So I can't remember every time which way you go. There's 2 doors. There's a door that's up and a door that's on the same level as you. And I can never remember immediately if you go to the door that's up or the door that's there. As you can see, these guys are water-based. Aka's first ability is Alpha Strike, something like that. And it's actually a cone attack. Does a lot of damage. And her second is the most important ability she gets the entire game, Delta Shield.
That wasn't so bad.
It's actually one we will abuse for the entirety of the game.
Yep, that's one of those ones that turns Ica into a Delta Shield totem. Yep. If you so choose to play that way.
So Vice just learned one of the most important spells in the game, Ink Ring. This spell causes your attack and defense to skyrocket. Okay, guys, watch me waffle about for a few moments.
Waffle in. There is
go.
nothing wrong with waffles.
No, but there is a problem with going back and forth between two doors over and over and over, trying to decide which one I want to go to.
Here goes.
In the meantime, dear viewers, I will annoy Nye by doing other things.
Okay, so here we have Aka do. It's Alpha Storm, that's what it is. And
Alpha
Aka.
Storm. Yeah, Lambda Burst is her super powerful one. That's a really nice one that you want to use.
Here's Alpha
But
Storm.
you don't get Lambda Burst for a little while.
So as you can see, it is a cone-based attack,
Fire, destroy my enemies.
more or less.
Alpha Storm is underwhelming for most of the game, but it is useful.
Especially this early in the game. It is very, very nice. And now,
But,
Aka hits-
all of Ika's super moves are cheap, so that
Yeah.
one becomes quickly outstripped.
And so I finally remember that, no, it's this one, because if I go to the other one... What I remember is that the door that progresses, I need to go down. And so I realize that if I'm on the correct level, I don't need to go down further. So I open a chest and I receive a moonberry. And then I go, wait a second, moonberry, super move. But what'll happen is if you have enough moonberries to access the next tier of your super moves, that tier will be, you'll actually see it in black question marks instead of gray, and it will describe what the move does. And then you can choose to unlock it or not. If the moves are grayed out like they were just now, you do not have enough moonberries.
Indeed. Some of them are expensive too.
I think the most expensive one is 3.
You talked about Fina earlier,
Here's
which
here's
mildly
the
spoils the
character.
character. Oh yeah, this is the one on the far right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fina has the most annoying super move list to unlock. I hate it.
Very expensive.
It's such a pain, but it's so totally worth it. Oh yeah.
We're trying not to spoil too much, guys, but
Is
some
it
of the
over
stuff...
already?
Well, you
You saw
spoiled
it was
earlier that Fina joins, and probably anybody who's ever played a video game ever could have guessed
Would have
that
guessed
Fina
that
was going
one,
to join
yeah.
the party. You should still apologize, though.
Guys, I'm sorry for letting you know about the obvious character early.
Damn
So
right.
this brazier can't be lit at all. It's not possible. Okay, so we go outside again. That's also something I did every single time I exited one of these doors. I checked both ways with the camera before continuing. Couldn't remember which way I went.
Damn it, I keep dying.
This is my worst waffling right here. I hope to never do this badly again. Because I skipped the door I should go out of, and went back out of the door I shouldn't have.
Nice.
Wait, it gets worse.
Slow clap. Do you like climb all the way up?
No, because I looked at this, and I went, this looks familiar, and then I went back in. And then, wait.
Do you go back
Wait,
out?
I go back and I go, wait, I came into that door, didn't I? And I go back out.
Good show. Good show.
Wait. I go around this and I go, this looks familiar too. And I climb up here. And I said, wait, this is where I came from. Crap. And it's recording too. And went back down. And went back in.
It's not that we wouldn't love to play as we're recording, like with Golden Sun.
Just we can't
It's
do
just-
it.
it's
So.
Not behaving and nice, too cheap to put out for the equipment that would. Cheap.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you want to pay for it. And then I go the correct way.
Christmas is coming up. We'll see. Christmas.
Better be as good as the one I have, though. Like,
wouldn't it be funny if I said that and then I'm actually Jewish and like don't buy you anything, like just to be mean?
well, you know, the Jewish have that like back to school holiday, and technically a headset is a school item. Anyways, my grandparents are Jewish. I gotta say these things. Okay, so this is that one battle, the one with the crap ton of snakes.
This is the one you get. And how many? Like
I only
6?
Get,
Is that 5 or 6?
I only get 4. But
4.
the problem is they hit Vice over and over and over, and every single time it applies the sleep effect. Vice actually never gets his move in this entire battle. Also, guys, notice that I did switch to the purple blade. You will almost never see me use purple, because there's not a single worthwhile spell in purple that I can think of. But since there was no point getting red or green right now, because the next tiers of red and green are insanely high-priced, I decided to just go ahead. And there's the cone shape, and all those guys go away.
Yeah!
So they just so happen to be perfectly lined up for me to hit them with Alpha Strike. Now, Skies is very nice. Oh, also, we ranked up in our title. Vice is now Vice the Blue Rogue. Go us. We also
He's still pretty unimpressive, though.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can call yourself Blue Rogue when your boat is a dinghy.
Yeah. Also, do note, whoa, no, we're not saving over Solstice. This game is actually very nice about the fact that anytime you're about to face a boss, it gives you a save point. Always.
As all good RPGs do.
It's almost trope-like in this game. If you see a save point and you're not at the beginning or end of a dungeon, and you're not in a town, and you know there's a boss. In this case, actually, if you open that door, it automatically starts the boss fight. So you want to save before you go in. You notice how much foreshadowing they're doing? That wasn't too hard. An adventure and a half. This boss, if you don't know what you're doing, again, can be a pain in the ass. If you don't know...
Really, all the bosses are pretty good with that. There are very few bosses that are just like, oh man, this isn't hard at all. There are a lot of bosses that for a first-time player will wreck you.
Well, I can't remember if
it rarely takes more than one try, one or two tries max to beat a boss, with the exception of the super special ones.
I can't remember if this boss has the, if this is the one that has the early on death, or on hit death effect. There's this really early boss that has a similar moveset to this one. Every time this guy uses target search, his next move will automatically be the move called Blaster. This is why you see me guard. And I think this effect, or this attack, has an on-hit death effect.
It does not. This attack does not.
Is it the later enemy type that looks like that?
I actually am not certain what you're referring to. There are enemies that look similar to that, like little laser golems, but I don't believe they're the ones that have the on-hit death.
Well, you guys see me use Inkram on both Vice and Aka. This is the, as I said, up defense and up attack, and it's actually a pretty significant steroid. And you'll also see above their health bars, they now have the buff red arrow up, and that's what that means. A blue arrow down, on the other hand, would be defense and attack down. And it's kind of hard to see, because we don't really do a lot of attacks before we buff, but it is a very significant boost. Nope, guard up. Yet another blaster.
That's all this boss has got. If you can guard the blasters, this boss goes down.
And then you just start using Cutlass Wrath a lot, or Cutlass Fury a lot, and you've beaten the boss. Yeah, I was talking about environments and battlefields earlier, and the fact that you even have the moonstone sitting right there. Love this song.
Did you ever play? Now this is what I should do. I should buy myself a capture card, put my Xbox in my bedroom again. I should let's play Blue Dragon with you. Have you played Blue Dragon?
I have not. I continually see it, and I'm always thinking about playing it, but I've never done it.
I recommend it especially because, I mean, these days if you find a copy, it's going to be $5. I think it was a launch title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a launch title for the Xbox 360.
It is a really good RPG that goes back to old school roots in a next-gen console.
Hey, look,
But-
Moonberry.
It was awesome because you mentioned the music. The music in that game was good. It's overseen by Nobuo Uematsu, but I don't think Nobuo himself composed the music.
I think he did. He's got credits on the cover.
He's got credits, but I mean he's got credits for Final Fantasy 13 too, but he didn't do the music for 13. He was the music producer, I think, or director or something like that, but not the composer itself. Anyway, it's funny because the boss music in Blue Dragon is so hilariously bad that every time you fight a boss, you want to finish it just so you can stop that racket. It is so bad. The music itself, the song is fine.
And an important one, too.
Oh, here we go.
Also, we saw the really cool Vice and Aiko, we have completed a mission dance they do. We only get to see that like 3 times in the game, maybe 4. They need to do it more often because it's just
Oh
a
yeah,
cool thing.
their Go Team Venture thing.
Yeah, the Go Team Venture thing. So notice Ben the Lookout. From what I can tell, he's not actually on Lookout Island. Wow, that doesn't look good. They're upside down. That's definitely not good. Okay, noticing he has the flags, he is not using them, but people still know exactly what he's talking about. And Dine is inside of his house, and he can hear this. Yep, they actually start firing on the innocent civilians. And this cannonball skips. At least Dine seems to know what he's doing. Also, notice that Captain Dine has an earring.
Because he's tight.
Yeah, he is. Now, can you tell which one of these guys is the big bad of the game? By the way, Galcian's the one on the left. Ramirez is the one on the right. Apparently, Galcian dyes his hair. I love this cloak of his. Burn the village, kill them all, let the bodies rot in the sun, and leave one of our flags to show, set an example for any that would defy us. This guy is not a nice guy, if you couldn't tell. By the way, all this happens while we're in the middle of our boss fight. And speaking of what's happening is we're ending this Let's Play. That was the end of it. We have completed Shrine Island, we got the raw moonstone, which I don't think we ever do anything with, ever. It's a complete MacGuffin. And, that's about it. Next time, we will see the results of that attack, and we'll go from there. The storyline's finally starting. We'll see you guys soon.
Sweet. Bye.